Okay, it is the 16th of October and we continue our focus of World Food Day. This day is aimed at promoting awareness about food security and to strengthen the fight against hunger, malnutrition and poverty. And of course, it coincides with the founding of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations way back on the 16th of October in 1945 at the end of the Second World War. This means the FAO is celebrating 75 years. Let's discuss now the organization's legacy. We are joined by Alan Onibon. Alan, good morning, and thank you very much for your time. It is a very big milestone, 3/4 of a century old, but the world is still grappling with hunger, and now the coronavirus pandemic has made matters worse.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
I'm saying that we are marking this 75th anniversary of the FAO at a very difficult time in the world, with the coronavirus pandemic having worsened the levels of hunger. When the FAO was founded at the end of the Second World War on the 16th of October in 1945, the world was facing a different crisis at the time, lack of production because it had been at war. This time, the pandemic is causing more hunger.
Yes, absolutely. The pandemic has affected the way the whole food value chains function in the whole world. It has affected the value chains in different ways. So what we have been doing in FAO, particularly in Africa, is first we have developed approaches and methodologies on how countries can deal with the pandemic to fix the value chains, ensure production, ensure food distribution. And we have been working on this with other international agencies. And we have consistently been working with governments in Africa, sharing knowledge on how to deal with the pandemic and avoid that it will worsen food insecurity. We have organized several meetings with the African ministers, and we have been working with the countries to develop a plan to manage the pandemic.
Now, what needs to change? I mean, yesterday on ENCA here, I had an hour-long discussion about food security and what needs to change. And some of the participants were saying in our discussion that the whole approach must change. We need a smarter and more systemic action, that the whole food system needs to change.
Particularly in Africa, I think what we can learn from the pandemic is that we cannot continue relying on massive food imports. We need to fix our own value chains. We need to fix our own food systems. As we can see, when we rely on import with the pandemic, the logistics has been disturbed, and that can prevent food to move from here to there. While in Africa, we are so well endowed. We have all the climates that we can find in the world, so we can produce almost everything. Our problem is the fact that our value chains are still messy. They are not well organized. We need to put a big effort in upgrading our value chains, make sure that our smallholder farmers can access financing, technologies, and markets. And that way we will make our value chain work, and we'll avoid to continue to import massively.
Now, besides beginning for Africa, for example, as you say, to rely on itself more than importing food, other people are also arguing that we cannot ignore the impact of climate change. And parts of Africa, we have conflict as well, large communities being displaced.
Yes, climate change is a big issue, particularly if you look at Southern Africa. Climate change is affecting food production, but we have technologies to manage climate change, particularly in Southern Africa. I personally think that irrigation becomes a must. We cannot keep waiting for the rain. The drought is a risk for crop production, for livestock. So if we don't fix irrigation, meaning we need to improve our irrigation policies and enable private financing of irrigation. If we don't do that, we cannot fix the value chains. Irrigation becomes a must in Southern Africa, and we cannot keep waiting for rain. For the rest, we need also to adapt the agricultural technologies to minimize the impact on climate change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Allen Onebo.